up, everybody? How is it rocking and rolling today? Guitars in hand, that's our plan. We're gonna get with it. So we're gonna talk about, are you using too many notes? And this is another one of those things, kind of continuation on these weekend lessons. We're gonna stick in the key of E major here like we did last week, but this is another one of those things I would teach people, and it would just force them to slow down a little bit. And it's not about, well, you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. Now, if you want tabs, you can snag those down below in the description. I'll tab out some of these ideas for you. And also, my big old guitar course sale, 80% off, is ending today. So if you're watching this on Sunday, it ends tonight at midnight. So make sure you check that out down there as well. And let's go ahead and dive into this lesson. All right, hair's out of my face. Guitar is switched to position 4 so we don't hear the buzz the whole time. I think we're ready to go. So here is exactly what we're going to talk about. So a lot of times people tend to dive into learning scales. They learn all of the scales, and when they try to play them over music, they try to use them all the time. And what I mean is, instead of focusing on one pattern at a time, they learn them all, but they don't really learn how each pattern works. You know, like they treat it more as just a shape, and not really all the different ways you can navigate through it, or even learning the intervals between the notes and the chords inside of the scale and all that. That's a little bit more complex. We're not going to dive into that just yet. But today we're going to talk about, like I said, E major pentatonic, and we are going to focus in one box. Good old box. I'm calling this box 1. Some people refer to this as box 1 of E major. I like to keep it the same as minor. So if you don't know box 1 of your E major pentatonic scale, it's going to go like this. 9 to 12 on the low E string, 9 to 11 on the A, 9 to 11 on the D, 9 to 11 on the G, 9 to 12 on the B, 9 to 12 on the high E string. Now, like I said, that is just one simple box. Now, a lot of times, you know, we're very focused on getting out of the box. Like last week's lesson was, you know, unboxing the box. But sometimes really learning how to navigate inside of the box can help you get out of the box while staying in the box. You boxing what I'm saying here? So let's look at this for a second. So like I said, a lot of times people tend to learn all the shapes and then try to use them all, but let's just focus on one. So we'll say if we had, I'm going to do basically the old school way that I used to practice, which was just an open low E string. I didn't have a way to record myself, so I would just play an open low E string, and I would play over top of it. You know, now obviously if you just play this, it doesn't sound bad. All the notes are, you know, right. I mean, there's not wrong notes, but maybe there are. But after so long, you're going to get tired of that, you know? And that's why people tend to move on to the next box, because it's going to sound a little bit different. Then move to the next one. And so on and so on. And what happens is, it's like, but you're not really, like, expanding on one at a time. So let's just take this and let's think of like different ways to play through that scale that's going to make it sound different. So we're not using all the notes, we're just kind of slowing down, using a smaller section. Sometimes limiting yourself is really the, you know, the answer to figuring this out. All right, so the first example here is we're going to be going just like this. Instead of going like this all the way through your scale, what would happen if we basically, I view it as like, you know, shapes almost, like through it. So I went just like this. So I'm going to go 12 on the low E string to 9 on the A, 11 on the A to 9 on the D, 11 on the D, 9 on the G, 11 on the B, 9 on the B, 12 on the B, 9 on the high string. So we have. Okay, so just right there. And already it's starting to sound more melodic, because here's the thing, instead of going like this straight through the scale, that's what your ear is used to hearing. You know, it's used to hearing that do, those 5 notes. Well, we're skipping them. For one, we're not even starting on this, we're actually starting on our root. Okay? Okay? And then now sit there and try playing that for a while over top of it, and then descend. We're trying to create new ways of navigating this. Now, like I said, you can go real slow and just like that. I mean, it's not the most exciting thing yet, but that's what we're building up to. So already, we are starting to navigate this differently. Okay, so there's the first example. Just try getting that down. And if you want to, try flipping it the other way. I'll throw this in here too in this first example. So almost like a power chord shape. Oh, sorry. I do this one all the time when I'm playing, you know, minor, major. This works on any of your pentatonics, any modes, scales, anything. Just these concepts. It's about the concept more than the lick. But like I said, if I'm just playing, you know, that bad note at the end, just the icing on the cake, right? So you can kind of see how I'm using a little, but I'm trying to get a lot out of it, and it's just forcing me to expand on what I have and just be more creative with a little and get a lot out of it. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is something I personally really like the sound of. Some people don't like the sound of clashing notes, but to me it's a very guitar sound when you have distortion, and you know, it's just part of what makes guitar so cool is you can have these notes fighting the way that they are. And if you take your pentatonic scale, again, we're here all night. We're gonna be working on this pattern. I want you to go like this. Sorry. So it might not seem like the most interesting thing, but it can really add a lot. You know, if you're kind of playing. Maybe don't do that last one, but my finger slipped. But like I said, you can see how it adds tension. It makes the guitar sound bigger. This is a huge John Mayer trick. He tends to do this pretty often. He harmonizes in thirds a lot. Okay, and when he's moving on, when he's doing that kind of stuff, he's essentially kind of doing the same idea, just a little bit wider. And like I said, just try doing that. Just go through it. So I'm going to go 9, and I'm hammering onto 12 on the B. But instead of picking my finger back up and going to the next note, I let it sit there, and I hear these notes clash. So I'm going to go 9 to 12 on the B, and then play 9 on the high string. So I kind of have to bar my finger. Okay? Move up a string, 9 to 11, 9. You hear the people mowing their grass next door. Always perfect timing, right? 9, 11, 9, 9, 11, 9, 9, 12, 9. So, sorry. It's always the small idea that gets the most attention from me. The flashy stuff is amazing. I love it. It's great. But it's whenever I hear those little subtle things, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I want to take that. You know, I want to steal that idea. And like I said, this comes from John Mayer and Stevie Ray Vaughan and, you know, Jimi Hendrix. All these guys doing this double stop style of playing. All over the place, but it's a good one. So the final idea I'm going to give you here is something I talk about all the time, but it's skipping strings, because I personally love the sound of large intervals between your notes. So what we're going to do is kind of basically that John Mayer thing I was telling you about a minute ago. Oh, maybe. That right there. But you can see we're still in box 1. So we're going to be going 11 on the A to 9 on the G. I love that sound. And then we're going to go down a string to 11 on the D to 9 on the B. Now here I go to 12 on the B, and then I go to 9 on the G to 12 on the high string, just to resolve it. So, you know, and you don't have to always be moving in the same direction. You know, like it's, take the ideas, expand them, do what you want with them, but... So there we go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that video lesson. And like I said, sometimes it really pays off. Even if you might know all 5 boxes, limit yourself to only using one and see what you can come up with creatively, because it just forces you to, you know, honestly be more creative, because you don't have as much real estate to work with on the fretboard. So I'm bouncing out of here. Get the tabs. Like I said, the guitar course is on sale until the end of tonight. And other than that, we're going to bounce on out of here. Bye, guys. Have a good rest of your weekend. Woo!